Welcome to Village in Motion. I'm Clint Lambert. I'm the host today of a show that I think truly outshines everything else that we've done around here recently. We have the Shining Stars on this morning, and we have hopefully both February and March's Shining Star with us. I'm going to let Chandra Kumar, who is our executive director, tell us about what's going on with the Shining Stars and who we have. Good morning.
All right, well, actually, thank you, Clint. Today we actually have William Story the third, correct?
That's correct.
All right, I love that. You got to tell us a little bit about that.
Yes.
Our second Shining Star, unfortunately, was not able to make it. So with us here is Michelle Gamache, who is William's direct supervisor, and she runs that whole communications feature
And does
here.
a superb job.
Absolutely.
Doing
Well,
it.
thank you.
Absolutely.
Very glad to have you doing that.
So the Shining Star is an opportunity for the community to nominate someone or an employee. Either the residents can do it, staff can do it. We even have visitors that have really who exemplify, the values that we have with Erickson and go above and beyond. And William is an example of that. And he was nominated by his peer, which is really nice because
it's very nice.
yeah, it's just talking about how he just jumps in, especially on a specific day that was so much happens at those communication desks. They really are the sort of the hub of information for each of the community buildings.
And that's the only desk that's open 24/7, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
I mean, it's always staffed.
Always staffed. And we have the dispatch team is there too. So they're kind of doing double duty sometimes. And so, the nomination, it talks about how he could jump in, did what needed to get done to help security and dispatch, but also, making sure the phones were taken care of. It seemed to be a really heavy call volume with some pendants going off and, some things that were happening in the building that day at that time. And he really went above and beyond. So, I know this is one example, but I've been fortunate to see him when I started at Green Spring as the communications specialist in Garden Ridge, and always has the most pleasant demeanor. And that is an area also that is continuously in motion, and you really have to be a multitasker. And so, really happy to have William, in both of those capacities and be here with us.
And as a resident walking by the desk when William's on duty, it's always a pleasure to see him smile and say hello. I mean, in regards to everything. And it's obvious that he is doing what he needs to be doing.
And so you've been with us for about 2 years now, a little less than 2 years?
Yeah, a little bit less. I think about a year and 3 or 4 months roughly.
Okay.
Well, we're really glad to have you with us. What do you actually do? I mean, you do all these things, but what's your job entail?
So, kind of like what you were mentioning, I answer the phones a lot. I also balance that with sometimes dispatching, usually when the dispatch is on break, but also if they need to do parking stickers for, residents or visitors, and then getting, packages for the residents, and, providing information on different things, like, if people need a notary or something like that, or maybe a nearby hotel. Just a variety of different things, trying to provide as much information as possible and help everybody out.
Yeah. Well, and you do. I mean, in regards to everything, everyone I've ever heard anything about you from is the fact of go to William. He'll take care of you in regards to, which is really for a resident, makes us feel good that we know that there's a staff there that we can rely on to do things we need to have done.
Yeah, it's like the brain, I call it,
Yeah.
clubhouse.
Definitely. I especially love William's commitment, and he takes his role very seriously. He's extremely reliable and dependable. He's always here right on the dot, right at 9, extremely punctual, and he's been very flexible as well. He started actually working the overnight shift in Garden Ridge, transitioned then to 3 to 11, and is now 9 to 5 at Town Center. And anytime we sort of need to switch things around to make it work, he's always willing to help out and be flexible to meet the needs of the scheduling.
That's great. That really is. William, where are you from originally?
Well, that's an interesting question. I actually grew up as an Air Force brat, so I happened to have been born in Hawaii, and then I moved around a lot. But this state is kind of the state I've lived the longest period of time in, so this is what I Shoes is my home state, I guess.
Okay. All right. And your background?
So I went to college, studied some political science, and then eventually I ended up here
Okay.
and started at the front desk. And I think this job has really taught me some valuable skills in dealing with people and how to help people in a customer service environment.
That's great. Well, I'm sure having Michelle as a supervisor too, it's been a pleasure.
Yes, she's been great. And then also I'd just like to thank the various people who trained me, such as Faye and Stacy and whoever else, because their training helped me start out pretty well, and then I gradually
Yes.
added more knowledge and information as time went on.
Because Faye's been around for, what, 14, 15 years?
18.
8.
Right?
Wow.
Yes.
So she was one of the originals.
Yes.
Okay. I just knew she'd been here a heck of a long time.
She just started really young.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
But it's nice though that we have people who really have the history of things and know where to go to get things rather than having to check in the book and trying to figure out where's this, where's that. It just rolls off of her tongue, and I've noticed that also with William. I mean, it's up here. You're able to share it.
We
Yes.
learn something new every day.
Definitely.
Very good.
So William, I know that some of the parts of the Shining Star are is there is a gift card that is given, and that piece of it I think I can probably deal with later, but I
think
want
you
to do
received
this
that
now
already.
is to make sure that you have this, and we'll make sure there's a copy of that letter in your personal file. This is the nomination, so you have a copy of it also for yourself.
Thank you.
And then this is your certificate that is,
Oh, that's very, very nice.
yes. And it's got the 3rd on there.
Oh,
3rd. So this is signed by Brian and myself.
right.
I'm going to hand that to you, and also get to proudly wear your Shining Star name tag with you.
Right. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you for all you do.
And
Right.
congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Very nice in regards to that. Are there some other acknowledgments that go along with this? I mean,
There's a gift certificate, and I think you've already received that, correct?
Yes,
So
Oh,
there's
okay.
a gift
Received
card
it.
that goes with it.
Received it, and I'll figure out something to use that for.
okay, very good. Well, what's nice though is that residents and staff can nominate people.
Yes.
I mean, I think that's just, and visitors also. I just think it's absolutely tremendous that we can acknowledge people who've really gone above and beyond. Yeah.
And I think there's always so many different components to William's job. He's been very limiting in talking about how much he does. In actuality, he's probably doing lots of interference for things that are not even really part of what you would consider to be part of his job. But he, as well as the team, does what they need to do at the moment. If one of our residents needs something. So that is what really makes a big difference in the way that people feel when they
Yes.
come into the community. And a lot of times, the first face they see is the one at the front gate.
Yes.
The second face they see is the person at that communications
That's right,
desk.
exactly.
And that really sets the tone
Yeah.
for the person's experience and what is Green Spring all about.
Right, exactly.
So it's an important role.
Very
Thank
important.
you for being there and holding that down.
You're welcome.
Well, we have about a minute left. Anything special that any of you would like to say?
I guess just thanks to, like I said, everybody that's helped me get this far. And thank you to the residents for, being great to work with.
Okay, very good. Well, congratulations again. And you can win it again, right?
You can.
Okay.
Okay.
And then in November, you select the Star for the Year.
Yeah, so we have the best of the best, which will be actually it'll be for the entire year, all of the 12 months of the Shining Star, and then also there's the leader of the quarter, so the 4 quarters, and then we get to pick the person, which is really hard because there's so many amazing stories
Yes.
of people going above and beyond. In 2016's winner, we had Priscilla Lyles, who was the Shining Star of the Year, and Greg Zernhout, who was the leader of the year. So it was really nice to have that opportunity to be able to acknowledge them.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice. Yeah. Thank you again. Thank you for coming. And thank you for presenting.
Thank you.
It's always nice. Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
All right.